And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We are here with the final day after show of Summer Tour proper, which it's kind of hard to believe that it's already over. I feel like it just started, which, quick couple of weeks, some amazing shows, but it went by really fast. I don't know about you, Neil, if it flew by for you as well.
Yeah, man, it seemed to blow by, actually. Sometimes these longer tours seem to drag on, but I don't know. The end of this one, probably because I was at a lot of the shows, but
yeah,
it seemed to finish up really quick.
Yeah, and I mean, we unfortunately missed you on the pod yesterday, but, talking about Friday was just, what a night, still riding the high.
My biggest regret of this whole entire tour is not doing yesterday's pod. I was incredibly sad about missing that one, but travel got in the way of me, and traffic and dropping people off in places at specific times. So it's a bummer, but it looks like you had an excellent pod. I caught it for about a couple minutes, and high quality guests on that podcast.
Absolutely, there were, and I mean, kind of interesting. We had this last tour too, where it kind of felt like, there was the days between festival at the beginning of May, but the headlining portion of the tour, there was this really big run. It felt like the Warfield was really big, impactful. They're playing at the Warfield. Phil showed up. Then there was San Diego the day after, which, kind of felt like, just an extra show on the tour. So I feel like that's what yesterday was. Levitate was just kind of we're on our way home. We're going to play at this festival, 80-minute set, nothing crazy. But we do have a guest who was at the festival, very good friend of ours, lover of shedding his shirt and shoes at shows, Mr. Corey. Hi, Corey.
Hello, how's it going?
Today is a
fantastic
wonderful day. Yeah, super fantastic.
Wonderful day.
So good to finally have you on doing this podcast.
Have we not had Corey on the pod before?
Is this the
first time? First time. Long time listener,
wow.
First time caller. Always
welcome.
Welcome. Thanks to be here.
Welcome. Yes, Jesse, we are here to talk about my singing today. I was going to open the pod by singing Silver Rising at Neil's request, but I decided not to. So, Corey, you are looking good today. Jesse is correct.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. You look great all the time.
Hey, well, if you are looking for a video of Ryan singing Silver Rising, I'm sure you might be able to find one. I'm just saying.
That's been making the rounds on Twitter. Well, we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about Levitate yesterday. So, Corey, you were at SPAC on Friday night as well. Take us through your day yesterday, getting over to Marshfield.
It was a long day yesterday. So after SPAC, I spent the night at Lee's campground. I didn't have anywhere to sleep, really. My friends had an extra tent, but I basically slept on the ground that night, and then I woke up pretty early, and I drove the back roads from SPAC through Green Mountain National Park, through Vermont, back into New Hampshire and down. Oh, my God. It was fucking unbelievable. It was my first time going to SPAC, actually, and then, just being able to, get through that portion of Vermont, because I'm usually never out that west of where I am. And then I drove right back down to home. So I live in New Hampshire. I live right on the border of Mass. And then I spent about a few hours at home. I needed to recuperate. I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to see my dogs. I kind of wanted to, hang out, do my thing. And then I drove down to Levitate, and it didn't take very long. Levitate for me is about an hour into the South Shore. So not too crazy or anything, but the festival itself was really cool. It was my first time ever there at that one. It was a little interesting. So, the parking situation at Levitate was you parked at a middle school, and then they shuttled you over to the festival, and you paid $20 there, but you could have just driven to the festival and paid $20 to park at the festival. It was a little off. Right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. It was also very, very hot. It was humid. It was steamy. It was sticky in there.
Schwitzy, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes. Very.
So where did you end up for Goose's set? I assume towards the back.
Yes, actually, I was at the back. I tried maneuvering my way front to the rail, on Schweik's side, but I slowly came to the realization, I'm like, I don't belong here. I love it up here because I like to see, the band, and it's really cool to watch them play because obviously when Rick is playing, you can like watch his right hand and see how he like tunes the guitar and does his thing. But I was like, you know what, like I love the rail, and as much fun as it can be, like my spot's in the back, and like that's where I get down the most. That's where I have the most fun. This is where I truly belong, is back there, and being able to like see it from afar and see everybody kind of like grooving and getting into their own headspace and like watching and taking everything in, and then like you're doing it yourself, like breaking it down, spinning with your friends, and just letting loose. And like it's one of the greatest things that's ever really come in my life, is being able to be in the back of a venue and watching the party in the back. As much fun as it is in the front, I'm a back guy. I'm all the way in the back. I don't care. Like I'll be in the fucking concession stand through a hallway.
We've seen it. Neil and I have both seen this happen.
If you've been to a Goose show, you've probably seen this.
If you have, and I bumped into you, I'm sorry. So it's usually the eyes are closed.
If you were at the Cap, and you saw a guy barefoot buy merch during the show, it's probably Corey.
You had to get through Corey to get out. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you can't get through me, you ain't getting out of this venue. You're coming right back in. You're going right back to that cell. Oh, you got to use the bathroom? No, you're not.
Not until Corey decides it's bathroom time.
Yeah. If a certain song comes on, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm out of here. And then now you all can come back.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, let's talk about this set here. I feel like we can talk about it all in kind of one big chunk. Just a few brief highlights. Neil, would you mind reading the set list, please?
Oh man, will I ever? I did not expect that curveball though. But
sorry.
Yeah. No. So actually, just starting off with Echo of a Rose and Turned Clouds in this show. Corey, how was it?
So I was actually, when I first showed up, so I made my way back towards where I was going with my buddy, and the show had started, and I kind of forgot what they were playing at the second, because I was in my own headspace, and then I wasn't really listening at the moment. But as soon as Echo started, I heard like the verse into Echo, or the chorus, I should say. I was like, oh, all right, we're here. We're in this. And then they went right into Turn Clouds, and I was like, oh my God, like, what it like, for me, like that's a great show to start off, because I really enjoy Echo of a Rose. I also really enjoy the fast version of Echo of a Rose, which they played yesterday. Mm-hmm. I also do enjoy the reggae version, but I think the tempo, for me, I like a little faster. But I enjoyed it. Echo of a Rose was great. And then, the entire segment of the song went right into exactly where they needed to go. And then they landed right into Turn Clouds. And like, who doesn't like the simplicity of Turn Clouds? It's calming. It's easy. It's an easy listening song, and it's just fun overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And organ solo was extra hot yesterday. Extra hot.
Extra mustard.
There was quite a bit. But hell of a vibe to start the show, if you're asking me. I mean, nobody knew what they were going to play at the show, because they really did empty the tank over the past few shows. Mm-hmm. So, is Echo of a Rose a festival song for Goose? Like historically, not really, but like, it's showed up here and there.
I think to introduce people into a song, Echo of a Rose is perfect. Same with Turn Clouds. I think what they did yesterday was perfect. Like that is your festival show like song set list. Perfect, no complaints. And then obviously it went into Arrow right after, which I think for a lot of people, you hear Arrow and it's kind of like, oh, we're going to get a little dark here. Like things are going to get a little bit weird. And it kind of turns up being like such a wonderful song.
Yeah, no. And this was a cool version. Again, we talked about this last time we heard Arrow, how there's been the trend of these unfinished arrows, and they did it again. This one clocked in just under 20 minutes. Didn't really go outside Arrow, but it's just nice, energetic, 18, 19 minutes. Solid jam, and the segue into No Rain was excellent. This song has been getting a lot of play this year, and I'm here.
No Rain was fantastic, Ryan. Oh my God, it was like, I wasn't expecting it either. So like when it went into No Rain, I was like, are we really doing Blind Melon right now? Like this is perfect for everybody here. It showed up with like the reggae theme, because like Levitate Festival is kind of like a reggae type of fest. So to have No Rain play, it probably like, for people that aren't into Goose, or they probably just overheard it, like, oh my God, they're playing No Rain right now? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is awesome. And No Rain was great. The seg into Arrow into No Rain, flawless. Nice transition, nice, smooth, easy. It was everything that it could have been. it needed it to be for that, like for the 2 songs. It was wonderful.
And a Magic School Bus tease for good measure.
Did not hear the Magic School Bus tease myself. I thought I may have, but I did not hear it personally.
It's I went back and listened. It's pretty pronounced. I was giving Ryan a hard time about it this morning, but
yeah, you were.
Yeah, you thought I was serious, which is actually it's funny.
I did. Well, you whatever.
In any case, I mean, the arrow was good. It was a nice, like, peppy arrow, and then you go slam right into No Rain, and dude, No Rain in a fest set? That's kind of bizarre, right? Do we agree that this is like kind of shocking?
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think the only other fest No Rain we've seen was with David Shaw in New Orleans.
And boy, that didn't go good.
And this one was better. This one was better.
Lot better. Oh, man. But yeah, and then, anytime you get the kind of 2 guitar attack is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that tease was a nice little treat in there. Like, I'm going to go back and listen to this No Rain here and there. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's a nice little quick hit. Was All I Need next, or am I missing a song?
Yes,
no, you got it.
Was next. And All I Need was the show stealer of the fest.
Yeah.
It was
highlighted the fest for sure. Highlighted the set for sure.
There. Obviously the second jam, it doesn't seem like it has been a thing for a long time now, which is fine. Not everything needs the second jam, but obviously in certain points where you're really feeling like you want it, it doesn't happen. Then you're like, all right, whatever. But that All I Need yesterday was great. It was really, really good. And like the entire time going in was like, oh my God, like they're really setting a boundary right now with this fest set for, people to listen to. And it's like getting to a point where they're exploring more through the song, the melodic version of it, and really just coming as a whole together to make that jam happen. And it was absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It felt to me. It felt to me when I listened to it this morning, it felt a little bit kind of like the Pine Creek All I Need kind of vibe during the jam at one point. No, I just listened to that version a couple of days ago while driving us back.
Anniversary the other day, actually.
Yeah, refreshing my memory on how good it was. But I was listening to that this morning. I feel like Rick's phrasing, the kind of vibe that was going on, kind of similar to the first jam of the Pine Creek one. But, really solid 15-minute All I Need, is kind of the improvisational highlight of this set for sure. It was great. Neil, what did you think?
Interesting that you bring up the Pine Creek thing, which
I knew you were going to like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I'm going to go back and listen again. So I've listened to one jam 2 times from this set. And this is the one jam that I've listened to twice because I was like, I got to go back and hear that one more time. It's a really good jam and kind of shows that they're not afraid to jam at a fest, which I love when they actually show up and play like a good amount of meaningful improv, right? Like you could just kind of burn through an Arcadia that sounds really, really good, which comes after this. And that's exactly what that version is.
Also, it was still really good.
Yeah. Which is very, very good. Like that short Arcadia that they can jam into like a fest set. Awesome. But this All I Need wasn't just kind of going through the motions of All I Need. It did have some meaningful improv in it. And then also interesting that we kind of threaded in this Pine Creek thing because the last time there was a gigantic Magic School Bus tease was in the drive at Pine Creek. Which
true.
You were there, Corey. You were there with me.
Neil met first time at Pine Creek in Montana, of all places.
Which was just weird. We live about 40 minutes from each other.
I was living in Denver at the time, though, so I drove up with a friend of mine to Montana, and then we just happened to meet the first day. It was like the small Twitter at the time meetup with Jive. I think Dan was there. Haps.
Kevin.
Yes, Kev. Which I hope he's listening. I'd like to see him again, and I miss him. So I hope I see you soon.
We all miss Kev. We all do. Oh my God! Look who's here.
Oh, did I say Drive? I misspoke. But thank you for watching, Jive Goose.
You know what? Somebody's fact checking. Somebody's paying attention. Thank you, B, for that. And then after All I Need was Arcadia. Yes.
Yes. Very funky Arcadia.
So interesting. Peter gave a big shout out and said how much they love Tab and we're excited for the set. No sit-in. I feel like this was kind of thrown around a little bit, but they're playing one right after each other. Are we going to see Trey make an appearance? And he did not.
Which was weird because, that's his whole bread and butter is at Arcadia, and he didn't come out for Arcadia. And a lot of people thought that he was going to come out. But obviously ended up not, which I kind of don't think you need him there all the time. Like,
no, you don't. But at this point, it's like it would be like a fun thing to happen again. You know, like at a festival. Like, oh, Trey's playing right after us. Let's have him on for a, you know.
Yeah, to some degree or another, I feel like there is some distancing that needs to happen after there was so much Trey and Goose. Like, it's like, well, we don't always have to be playing together, but it's not, you know, the end of Trey and Goose collabs. But I could see why they would not want to go out and do that thing. But who knows? Mm-hmm. But, you know, you did not get the Trey bombshell at the end of the set, but you did get a big bombshell dropped by Peter.
Oh, yes. This is very exciting for the two of you.
This is very confirmed speculations that we had about a couple of weeks prior of you got a little bit of word saying that Boston was the next two shows that highlighted out, and somebody had told us, and I was a little skeptical. I mean, I could believe it, but I was like, maybe, all right, we'll see. And then confirmed yesterday at the end of the show by Peter that he was coming back. They didn't announce, though, where they were playing, but if I had to speculate for where in Boston that they're going to do, I think they're going to be at the Pavilion in the Seaport. Only speculation for that is that I saw my Morning Jacket there last September, and they were still doing outdoor shows at the time. So if one had to guess, a 2-night run, the Pavilion in Boston, Seaport, it's going to be fucking fantastic.
Well, we'll find out soon whether your speculation is correct.
I hope it's the Pavilion. The Pavilion's a wonderful venue. Sound is okay, but I mean, being inside that massive amphitheater on the water is.
Listen, I'm stoked. I'm stoked that you guys are gonna, you know, get some hometown shows there.
Very rare.
It'll be great. And it's hard to believe, you know, that Goose is only playing one show in between now and then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like, you know, the next show is at Newport at the end of July, and then September. You know, they're taking some time off. I know they're hitting the studio in the next few weeks. And then I think after Newport, they're taking August off. They're just going to relax. You know, they've been going hard for the last few months.
I mean, so you know, they're human beings.
Enjoy the summer, and you know they're very
summer. Sorry.
Yeah, and they're very courteously, as you know, Brian Brinkman and I kind of alluded to yesterday. They're very courteously not touring at the same time as Fish, which is much appreciated by fans of both bands. Yeah, you know, like,
you know,
it's great.
It's like, you know, when baseball or when football season ends, like, you know, you get like a little bit, you know, of time, and then baseball season starts, right? It's like that kind of thing. But yeah, it could be Fenway. Although, you know, while we're speculating about venues, you know, the old Harbor Lights is like a good speculation. I think the other really good speculation is the brand new MGM Music Hall, which is like right over there. But yeah, if I had to guess, it would be either of those. But you know,
I'm kind of hoping it would stay outdoors. Like September, like you're not even at the Labor Day weekend yet. So like Labor Day for me is like the end about anything all outdoors, because the weather.
It's 2 weeks after Labor Day.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, whoops, my bad. I got.
But I hear you. But you know, it's like the beginning of fall. It's going to be great in Boston. So everybody should come. Ryan, you should come. Everybody should come to the show. It's
I already have DeVee on the line to come out from wherever he's going to be, somewhere touring with like Giz or wherever. He's going to come to Boston for those two shows, I think.
Yeah, I would like to. I have a lot of plans that I need to plan.
yeah, it sounds like it.
There's a lot happening. But you know, this it's been a great episode. You know, a little quick hit here about the festival wrapping up summer tour. You know, little preview for our Newport Day After show in a few weeks. We have a very exciting family episode that's going to happen. A very small person will be seeing their first Goose show, and said very small person may be named after a Goose song. You know, I'll give you that hint. But it's going to be a lovely day after show. You know, I'll be in the middle of a Fish run, so we'll see what happens. But you know, it's going to be lovely to talk to them about that. But you know, we got a few weeks off here, kind of digest the tour a little bit. You know, we're going to be recording obviously our very, very lengthy tour recap pretty soon. So look out for that. And before that, you know, let us know what your favorite moments of the tour, favorite jams, favorite shows, favorite moments in general, things you love, things you didn't like, things you want to happen in the fall. anything, at AAT Goose Pod on social media. We are on Threads now. So, you know,
really?
We're everywhere. Yeah. So hit us up. Thank you, Corey, for being on today. It's been a pleasure having you.
Nice to see you guys.
Hell of a way to end the tour with Corey. This is a good one, man.
This is great. Thanks. All right. Well, everybody, enjoy your time off. Enjoy your summer. Go outside. You know, listen to Goose outside. Always a great idea. I think I'm going to go do that right now. But, you know, everyone have a fantastic day, week, month, and we'll see you very, very soon.